Welcome to Minutes with Lynnis, brought to you by Wellness Woman 40 and Beyond. Embark on this journey with me, Lynnis Mullins, your certified holistic living and wellness expert for women over 40, as we explore tips for an ever-growing mind, body, and spirit in just a few minutes. Hey everybody, it's Lynnis out in sunny California, outside of my backyard because it is just so beautiful out here. I've been wanting to do this for a couple of the last Facebook Lives, and finally I figured out how to get the all the stuff out here so I could have a good broadcast. I hope everybody can hear me and see me, and I see we can all be able to hear and see our guests. I'm so excited because we had Pastor Eduardo's on with us before, and you guys really liked it. We had quite a few views, so I want you to come back on again. Pastor Eduardo's is an executive coach, life coach, a NLP master practitioner, a pastor, and a Renaissance man extraordinaire, and my friend. It's so wonderful to have you here, Charles Eduardos. Thank you for checking us out here on Lynnis Minutes and on broadcasting live to the group. It's great to have you here today.
My pleasure. Always good to be with you. And you have you got an amazing tribe that you put together, and you're doing an amazing work. Glad to be a part.
Thank you. Yes, we just hit 2,000 last week. Woo! I'm so excited about that. Yay! And we're going to go further. I mean, this is just the beginning. That's just the tip of the iceberg. And, when we're talking about just beginning, many times in midlife, we begin to evaluate and assess what is it that we still want to do that we haven't done. And we begin to take a look at the overall, not just quantity of the years that we've lived, but the quality of the years that we've lived. And many of us think about the idea of changing our environment, moving to new homes, going on vacations, thinking about doing a new experience that puts us in a new place. I think in midlife that's kind of important, that we go ahead and live out our dreams when it comes to testing out new environments. But what are some of the benefits in terms of making that decision, that leap? And changing environments and experiencing something new?
Well, anytime you change, and it's really not just the change, but the mindset that goes along with it. A lot of people will approach retirement years as, okay, now I'm going to do stuff for me, and there's a degree of excitement about it. There's a degree of the whole idea of a whole new chapter in my personal book of life. And that's always exciting. But I think the changing of environment is a good thing. A lot of people do. They will move like to Florida or Arizona or somewhere, which Florida and Arizona have done a good job of kind of branding themselves as retirement areas, but I think the most important thing that people need to consider is changing the internal environment, because it's the internal environment that pretty much rules what is going to manifest, for lack of a better word, maybe. What's going to manifest in the outward is pretty much predicated on what is the environment or the landscape inwardly, and what are we doing there to change perceptions and perspective and everything.
How does one go about that? First of all, it's one idea to think about it. It's another idea to get inspired and motivated to actually do it. How can you get from the thinking and dreaming about it to the doing? Because it feels like sometimes, at least for me anyway, there are these other little things that get in the way. Sometimes it's life, but other times I know it's just me and my monkey mind and all the reasons why I can't, So what can we do to begin to change that way of thinking into more of a, I can, and this is something that I do want to do?
Well, one of the things that I do with a lot of clients is I just ask them to begin to journal. Journal their mind, journal that monkey mind, and start to become more aware, more consciously aware of what's going on. The biggest issue is the awareness. When we kind of function on automatic pilot, and we get used to things being a particular way, and recognizing, okay, I have a particular mindset around this. There are even people, you know, that we kind of, when we see this particular person, there is this expectation, oh God, here they come, I know it's going to so or it could be, oh wow, here comes Lynnis, you know, I know there's going to be something good, it's going to be inspiring, you know. So we have these kind of expectations that we build internally in our internal environment, predicated on our past experiences with people and places and situations that we have had in the past. So being mindful of those inward expectations, being mindful of how self-fulfilling prophecy works. A lot of times we will subconsciously set ourselves and other people up predicated on what our expectation is. So it starts with being mindful, recognizing what is home base for me in this situation. What is home? Where do I tend to return to in my thinking? And I always say thinking / feeling, because we don't just think and we don't just feel. There's an associated feeling for every thought. There's an associated thought for every feeling. Our mind always goes somewhere. Our thinking is layered. And we're always referencing. We're trying to make meaning out of what somebody said, what somebody did, make meaning out of why, you know, well, why is this happening to me? We're trying to make sense out of it. I don't deserve this, you know, life's not, no, this just isn't fair. And my standard answer is life's not fair always, but it's not what happens to you, but how you choose to respond, because we're always, always, always at choice.
Well, you know,
And
and you're right, you have a choice. And what are some of the benefits of making that choice to change the environment or experience something new, maybe something that you've never done before? What are some of the benefits with that when it comes to our overall wellness from a mind, body, spirit perspective?
right, you know, cortisol, which is, and I know that you know about this, cortisol is caused by stress. Okay.
They didn't see me when I was doing my off camera. I was like, yes, look at me. I'm all swollen and fat from cortisol. I definitely know about that.
Oh my God. So the benefit is when you take charge of your mind and you choose, I am choosing not to allow this, not to give this situation or this person permission to take me where I don't want to go mentally or emotionally. And again, our habituated patterns have to be broken. But the benefit is now you are not in stress. Now your body starts becoming healthier. Okay. You'll see actually even things such as blood pressure comes down. People with hypertension, with blood pressure, as you begin to change your internal environment. And this is, you can find studies, you can Google studies on the effects of meditation.
I was going to mention that.
Yeah.
Great mind.
Yeah. So, you know, there's studies that prove that there are benefits, and you don't have to go physically necessarily anywhere. Now, and don't get me wrong, for example, your upcoming event next year in Costa Rica, that is phenomenal because you're providing for your tribe an opportunity for a select group of people, the first come, first servers, to get in on that, because as I understand, you're limited. You can only have so many people. Right. But, and there's an advantage to the smaller group setting. But now you are providing a change of internal environment while being in a changed or different external environment. Wow, the benefits that can come out of that. And the key is, as I'm sure you will do with folks, is to talk about, as you move toward conclusion of that time together, to lock in the feeling states. There is such a thing as muscle memory. So we move into, okay, how is this feeling in this moment as you are feeling this new bliss, this new peace here in Costa Rica? So get a visual picture of your surroundings, okay? Feel into how you are feeling in this moment, how inspired and motivated you're feeling. Get a mental, emotional snapshot of all of that, so that anytime, once you get back to your normal living environment, all you have to do is close your eyes.
And it'll take you
and bring that vision back. Yes, and when you do that, again, the muscle memory, you will feel it in your body. That's why I say we think, feel. And the mind really doesn't know the difference between things that are actually happening in front of us and things that we are imagining, going into an imaginal realm. So that, again, is just a marvelous benefit. So it is good to be able to change your external environment, but you don't absolutely have to go to a new place. People that talk about, I'm going to go to a new city because just things don't work for me here in Sacramento or in Cleveland or Detroit or wherever I'm at, but the problem is wherever you go, there you are.
Yes.
And so you'll just create the same problems, the same situations wherever you are until you change the internal.
Absolutely. I was thinking about this and it just gave me an idea. I know we're going to be doing like a vision board session in Costa Rica. And the organizer and I were thinking about how we're going to do this. And we came up with some ideas because they have actual vision board apps that you can do.
Okay.
What we definitely want to do is when we're going on our hikes and things like that, I'm going to be asking the ladies to take as many memory pictures as possible. Because
Excellent.
the other thing about being able to put yourself back into that retreat mode is not just with the mental memories, but going ahead and being able to take a look at the visual pictures of things that you did to foster in that feeling of joy, bliss, relaxation, discovery, excitement, happiness. All those kinds of feelings that you experience when you're on a vacation or a retreat like that. I've been listening, as you know, a lot to Abraham Hicks. One of the things they talk about, and for those of you who don't know who Abraham Hicks is a conglomeration of personalities, I guess, that have passed on, maybe, I don't know. And a woman by the name of Esther Hicks is who they talk through. I don't know if it's real or not. I'm not kind of like into that kind of stuff, but regardless, their messages or the things they talk about are just absolutely phenomenal. And one of the things they talk about all the time is the practice of allowing life to unfold for you. Basically, getting out of our own way, because so many times we put up blocks in terms of things that we really want to do. And then next thing you know, all these different things start happening. But many times we could just allow those things to pass us by, just let it go and allow the universe to take you to what it is you want to do. But many times we stop, we want to try to fix this, want to try to fix that. And next thing you know, the thing that you've been wanting to do, the thing that you've been planning on doing, it just doesn't happen. Time has gone by, you're too tired, the money's gone, whatever. But in reality, when you first started on that journey, you were going to go. And for those of you who are thinking about making that change in your life or having that adventure or whatever, just make sure that you are allowing it to actually happen, and be on the lookout for things that might come up that seem like that's the block in terms of why you can't do that thing, because usually it's something that you really don't have to address. It's just in our mind. We always want to fix things because we are so busy being human doings, and we don't spend a lot of time being human beings.
It's all about, I heard the wise woman talk about vibe living, and that's what it's all about, just the vibe living. This shouldn't be happening. Well, it is. Okay. And as much as we use that expression, which I'm not too fond of, And I think because we don't get the profundity of it, it is a profound statement. It is what it is. Stop resisting. Allow it to be what it is, and look at what can I do to change the situation, either externally or internally, because at the very least, I can change how I think about or feel about this situation. I can give myself permission to allow it to be what it is without necessarily dragging me into an unresourceful state. One of the things that I do a lot of work with is helping people with state management, managing your mental, emotional state. Again, that's part of controlling your mind, controlling your internal map of reality. So yeah,
you're right, because we do have a choice, and thoughts are powerful, but we are powerful. We can actually choose what we think about. We can choose what we feel. We can choose how we want to live our lives. It doesn't have to necessarily go into automatic. It doesn't necessarily have to be dictated by others. You truly are, I was going to say captain of your own ship, but I'll say captainistas of your own ship. And especially at midlife, to me, this stage in life is the best part of my life ever. Now, and I'm not 22 and I'm not 30 and I'm not 40. And of course, at those stages, we thought this is the best time ever. Well, no, maybe not 30s because I was busy having babies, but you know, when I think about that, I don't think about the pain. I just think about it just blew by because there was so much going on. Whenever you bring in life, there's all the other stuff when you have kids. But I find that, you know, I'm in my 60s now, but, you know, my late 50s, 60s and on really has been a powerful awakening from a time perspective. First of all, you begin to realize your own mortality, but also from a realistic standpoint, it's like, wow, there's so many things that I have left that I want to do.
Sure.
But instead of thinking about what you want to do, I am more in the doing mode now. I'm going to do that thing. I'm no longer going to put it off. I'm going to find a way to make it work. And, you know, what you focus on, I say this all the time, ladies, what you focus on, what you think about, what you ponder on, what you journal about truly does come to pass. But it first starts with the idea that starts up here, okay? And many times what starts up here can get blocked by what, you know, Charles Eduardo's was saying, can be blocked by the monkey mind. So be looking out for that, because if this is a passion, this is a dream or a desire that you really want to do, then you just decide, okay, well, that's going to happen. Even if you don't know exactly how it's going to happen. And I know this is true because it's happened to me. I mean, the last 2 or 3 months have been really miraculous in terms of things that have manifested because I've made up my mind that I was going to do it. And no matter, you know, what obstacles came in the way, I was just going to be like the sliding glass door theory. You know what the sliding glass door theory is, right? You come up to the glass door, you open it, close it, open it, it slides in, slides out, slides in, slides out, and not get vested in all that minutia that has nothing to do with my intention.
Yeah.
You know, yes. What do you think about setting intentions? How impactful and powerful? We just got through doing an intention challenge.
I think it's absolutely powerful. You know, there's even the idea of journaling and writing out your intentions, anything like that, even from. And of course, I'm a weird pastor. I am Zen Luthocostal, but the Buddha said, "I am the sum total of everything that I have thought." In the Old Testament book of Habakkuk, it talks about write the vision down, make it plain so that you know what you're doing. You know, so there throughout many. Different religious writings, the message is essentially the same. It's there. There are some deeper meanings and understandings, but it all comes down to the same thing. Write it out, be plain, be clear, because we begin the process of it's kind of like making a baby. You know, you're doing in your mind. You conceive the idea, the thought, the intention, and then it goes through a gestational period and then it manifests, you know, and as you hold that intention, just as a loving mother, you know, is protective of that baby as she carries that baby. You know, it's the same thing with your dreams and your intentions. You know, you hold and you nurture that child that you are about to give birth to, whether it's a business, whether it's a new approach to how you are going to live your life. You say, doggone it, today I'm beginning my vibe living. You know, Lynnis got the message. I like that. I'm adopting that. Boom. But you hold that and you do those things. And again, we are what we eat, right? So we look at healthy diets and everything. Well, watch what you're feeding your mind. What are you feeding in? What are you allowing in? And sometimes I'll catch myself. I'll have some weird extraneous thought will run through my head and I'm like, oh, cancel. Erase that, you know.
Delete. Yep. I do that a lot. I went through a stage when I was doing that a lot back in the 90s when I was trying to change my thought patterns, because I've been working on this kind of thing, working on myself for years. I mean, it's almost like a pastime. I'm always, and ladies, I wanted to tell you too, I saw all of the books you all are reading. Oh my gosh, I got like 3 or 4 that I definitely want to get this weekend and start reading them. It's amazing how books can just open up the world. Many of them are great fictional books or self-development books, but I think the idea of exercising your mind and reading things that help to affirm where it is that you're going, whether you're reading about a book about Costa Rica because you want to go, or you're reading a book about the importance of affirmations because you're affirming that you want to go, or you're reading a book about how to clear that monkey mind so you're not letting things, your own thought processes, keep you from going. Those kinds of things can really help you maneuver the trajectory of your life to where you want it to be. It kind of all works together. You know, it's kind of all interrelated when you're ready to make that change.
Yeah. And you know, Lynnis, when you say that, I just want to throw into a lot of times people will say, because they put together a plan and this is something that they want to do, they make the intention, they do their affirmations, everything, and for whatever reason, it doesn't happen. That does not mean that you are a failure. It just simply means it didn't work out, okay? And it could be something as simple as now is not yet your time, but it doesn't mean that it'll never happen. It does not mean that you are a failure. One of the presuppositions in NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, is that there is no failure, there's only feedback. And when you take responsibility for what happens, and it's not about blaming or finding blame as our society is so big on, it's a matter of saying, okay, was there something I could have done differently? Is there a learning that I need to get out of this situation with things turning out as they are? And just taking that position and just saying, okay, didn't happen this time, but that doesn't mean I'm giving up. It doesn't mean I'm a failure. I am God's unique child. There's never been one like me before. There will never be one like me ever again.
I was looking at my phone. I didn't mean to be rude, but I had some text messages here. One of the things about this platform we're using is I can't see your messages. So I'm looking here on the messages, and they were saying, what's the difference? And we've talked about this before, but they need to hear it from the expert. What's the difference when it comes to setting an intention versus doing an affirmation? What's the difference?
Affirmations, I think, you know, we can affirm, we're saying, but when we are giving intention, it's more than just the speaking. Our heart and our mind, our whole being is in it. I use the expression feeling into. Again, when it's just, if it's only intellectual, and yes, I guess I am a very spiritual person, and I think who we are at our true essence, and I believe it was Pierre Teilhard de Chardin that asked the question, are we're either human beings that have spiritual experiences, or we are spiritual beings living a human existence? And I think that we are the latter. I think that we are spiritual beings, And according to science, the energy and matter can neither be created or destroyed. So the energy of my consciousness has always lived and will always live. This life that I am now living, when I live it with intentionality, that means that I'm beginning to connect to who I am and what my purpose for being here is. And with what I do as a pastor, and there's not a whole lot of difference between what I do in the church and what I do in the private sector, although it does not have the scriptural references and whatever, but it comes down to our ontological being, who we are in the very depths of our being. And I feel very strong that I am living my destiny. I am living my purpose in life. My purpose is to awaken myself and to help as many people on the planet to awaken to their amazing, powerful, true nature.
I'm so glad you mentioned that, because I wanted everyone to know that you have a fantastic program called Victorious Living. What is that program about, and how can people find out more?
Well, I kind of named what I do, and it's victoriousliving.com is my website, and Victorious Living System has evolved. My flagship program is called The Key to Conscious Transformation. When I started putting that together, it was keys. And as I was putting it together and bringing it all together, I said, wait a minute, there's only one key. And the key is awareness. But how do you get to that awareness? So there are steps that move us to deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper awareness. As we get there to that place of awareness, again, the cortisol starts to disappear, because we find, oh, wow, I'm just chill, you know. Things don't tend to affect us as deeply. And then we start to actually even tap into the creative power that we truly have. And you know you're ready for it when the intention behind what you want to create out of the creative nature that we have is not about anything for you personally, but it is with the intention that all would benefit from this, that the larger world. And I would even hope that people that consider me an enemy would benefit. I don't have any enemies. Okay. There's some folks that don't like me, and that's their choice, but for me, I don't have enemies, and that's the Christ in us when we get to that evolved type of a position. We are, again, as Lynnis was pointing out, you were pointing out earlier, that whole thing of allowing and accepting that. I just had a situation with one of my folks that lost their 18-year-old son in a tragic accident. And I had to tell him, I wish I had answers for you. I don't get it. He was such a great kid, but you reach a point of it is, and we accept that this is the way it is, not the way I would have chosen it to be, but that's a power within itself, and we become more powerful when we own that ability to rest in what is without necessarily having any answers, but certainly resisting. What does resisting do?
Right, and being okay with that. It's interesting, because at this phase of our lives, loss is something that we become all too familiar with.
Yeah, and look at me. I'm 91, and I'm doing pretty good. No, just kidding.
Ever.
Not, not quite that old.
71, but
yes.
71, right? Okay, 71, 62. Who knew? Who cares? It's just a number at this point. But
exactly.
When you're dealing with the idea of loss as time goes on, you do begin to either get a perspective that's a little bit more esoteric and a little bit above the actual grief period, or the grief part of it, which of course you're going to do, or you stay stuck in the grief part and never evolve to the next level of that in terms of what this loss means to your life, what kinds of things have you learned from this experience, and what are you going to be doing moving forward? Because it is a part of our journey. The loss of life and experiencing the loss of loved ones. And I just went through that myself with my
your dad.
Right. And I have experienced so many good things since he has passed. And since he's made his transition, I just kind of feel like he and mom are up there cheerleading. Go, Lynnis, go. You know, I feel like I have this trajectory of blessings that are happening, and I don't know exactly what the relationship is, but I'm definitely willing to get on that journey and explore it. And I no longer am in the poor me mode, but in the, you know, what's next mode, you know. It's been so wonderful to have you here, Charles, and I wanted to make sure that they knew your website so they can take a look at your programs and find out about all the wonderful things that you do.
Thank you. That's www.victoriousliving.com. And of course, I'm on LinkedIn, Charles Eduardos, and on we have Victorious Living with Charles Eduardos group page on Facebook, as well as my Charles Eduardos fan page. And that will, if you are interested, that can at least keep you updated with stuff that I'm into and doing. We're working on, supposed to be coming out to Phoenix, Arizona area sometime toward the end of October, I believe, but that's still in the works. But we are getting out. I guess the meds are working. They're letting me out a little bit more often.
Well, thank you so much for being with us. And ladies, thank you for joining us. I saw that I kept looking down and I thought I was off camera, but I wasn't. So I looked back, I could see myself. Oh, that's so unprofessional. I'm looking down while he's talking, but oh, well, it's internet, it's live. What can I tell you? But thank you for your questions. I got to get some shout outs because I see my girl, Marjorie Belize. Hey girl, I see you. And I see my prayer partner, Sister Vicky, on there, and looks like a few other folks, a lot of names here. Welcome. Thank you so much for listening. And also thank you on the replay to the Instagram followers and the YouTube followers and Twitter. Thank you so much for following and listening. And you know, I got to say this because I think it's really important. Don't forget that we're coming to the end of the Girlfriend Getaway Special for the Costa Rica trip. So if you want to find out more about that, go to my website as wellnesswoman40.com and click on the Costa Rica banner. And if you're still like thinking about, I want to go, but I'm not sure, replay and listen to what he just got through saying about new experiences, monkey mind, and moving forward with our lives so we can claim all the good that we know our Creator has for us, especially at this stage of life. Thanks so much for listening. It's been wonderful having all of you. Remember to take good care of your mind, body, and spirit as you journey to an awesome midlife. Thanks so much. See you later. Bye-bye.
Thanks so much for tuning in. If you have something to share, please comment below. For more Wellness Woman videos, be sure to click the subscribe button below and check out my Facebook group, Wellness Woman 40 and Beyond. But most importantly, don't forget to love yourself and educate, encourage, and empower your mind, body, spirit wellness.